Welcome to More Business, More Life TV. Today I want to talk about diversity, and not just in people, the humans that are on this planet, but with animals and plants, and how I think that if we take a larger picture of diversity, we can see how much it actually is needed in our life. And this also then it comes back to the human experience that we're having. So let's talk about that. So this idea that there are some folks that are adverse to diversity. I think it's growing. Obviously, it's been a big topic this year, and where we set ourselves back. And then it kind of is starting to dawn on me like that this is an essence of life that we need to recognize, because even if you think about it, I've been watching some of the documentaries, and it's interesting. I'm going to go to farming for a second, and I'm going to bring it back to the diversity in our lives. And so stick with me here, because it's going to kind of go on a tangent and bring it back. But I've been watching these documentaries about farming, The Biggest Little Farm, and now recently came out Kiss the Ground. I always forget, is it Kiss the Ground or Kiss the Dirt? But it's the same thing. It's basically taking care of this earth that we live on. And when you look at part of the downfall, and now from seeing these documentaries and learning more, you can even see that the way that the earth is changing, and the warming of the earth is coming from a lot of exposed dirt when it's not covered, when it's not cared for in the way that it was previously. And so we can look at monocrop farming, these large scale farms, as becoming an issue. And you look at it each year, it's getting harder and harder to farm because they are dealing with the nutrition, like what's in the dirt, the soil. The health of the soil is depleted, and we're putting chemicals in it to like reliven it up, and every year it gets worse. So it's kind of just putting the Band-Aid on. It's not actually solving the problem, and they're just getting by. And even for that, there's a lot of risk for these farmers, for their own livelihood, and they lock themselves into debt and all kinds of things because the financing's there. And then on the mega farms, there's opportunity that's been there to earn on all kinds of things. And I won't get into all that, but like even government subsidies and all these things, or incentives to grow certain crops, have been paid for, all kinds of things. So there's been all these reasons why this is, been put forth, and you can do your own homework on that. But the thing that I want to come back to is the diversity. What have they been finding to solve this issue comes from what you see in The Biggest Little Farm. A farm nearby me is called Singing Frog Farms, and I got to listen to the farmers there and what they're doing. And guess what they're all talking about? Diversity, diversity, diversity. It's about bringing in an ecosystem, bringing in much diversity in plants, in animals, bringing them all together so they can live and have their habitat together. And guess what it does? It starts feeding the soil. It starts bringing nutrients back. And we're talking about within a couple of years, sometimes shorter, they even just within one season see a difference. I think they will see a difference, but over years, in Biggest Little Farm, they went from just like pretty much desert, like cracking soil you can see, just like a lot of land that you could possibly say dead, that was not really lively. And then in a 7-year period, you could put your hand in the dirt, and soil's falling out, and worms are all in there, and all the ecosystems coming in. And even just for an example, I forget which orchard it was, but they had an orchard and the trees were not doing well because of the snails. And then they brought ducks in, and the ducks eat the snails. And then, and this is this whole pecking order of our lives. But what dawned on me is the diversity and the life, and bringing it all together. And that's what we need to do. It is healthy to have diversity. And I look at life, it kind of, it continually, we live in a mirroring universe. It continually shows this circle of life over and over. And we can look to nature to learn about ourselves. And we can all these things come together. And if we can see that life works with diversity, it actually thrives with diversity when it comes to farming. How can we do that ourselves? Because what happens is when we don't have diversity, in so many different angles, different thoughts, different points of view, then we actually diminish our life force. We lose because we start doing the same thing. And when we do the same thing, it goes on to autopilot. And we just keep doing that same thing and no new things come in. It doesn't allow for life to thrive and grow. And I can see now, being a coach and consultant for many years, one thing that's helped me again is diversity. Having so many different types of clients in so many different industries and having so many different thoughts come in to one place within my company and within my mind, I've been able to make better business decisions, help people more. And now in 2020, as we're coming to a close here in this year, I've been able to help so many people, and I've been so honored and like lifted in my heart to be able to help. And again, in so many different areas of business, so many different areas of life. It's in this diversity that gives me strength. And I just wanted to bring this idea that if we can see any evidence in life, and that life thrives with diversity. In fact, it needs it. In fact, this planet is dying. It's hurting. And I don't think that it will. Like, my case is that Mother Nature will prevail. We might not make it as humans, depending on how we act and we proceed. But it's in the diversity that brings life back to this earth. The dirt thrives. And don't take my word for it. Go watch The Biggest Little Farm. Go watch some of these things around permaculture and Kiss the Ground. And you'll start to see the other scientists, biologists, and all of these experts around farming that are finding in this diversity comes growth, comes strength, comes the nutrients that we need. And I bet, and that's what I want to bring the question to today, think how you can bring diversity into your life. And have we not seen this be the case? One thing that we can be grateful for in 2020 is this opportunity to have things be different, to change, to think differently, to have all these questions come up and look at what new things did you already bring into your life in this year. Notice that and how is that changing your life, and what can you be grateful for? And then ask yourself another question, and if you can put this into the chat, put some comments. What new things did you bring into your life this year? And then what new things do you want to bring in? What diversity specifically do you want to bring into your life next year? And see the growth that comes from that. And I'd love for you to look at what diversity you brought in this year and what it came from, and share that with us. Share a few of these thoughts. You know, what changes are you grateful for? Maybe that will work best for you. You don't have to answer all of these, but pick the one that you identify the most with, and what diversity have you brought into your life? I'd love to hear from you, and we're going to continue to bring these thoughts. Like today was more, putting this out there, these things that are spinning in my head. And thanks for letting me rant a little bit here to put these words out there. And I'd really love to hear your thoughts around how diversity is going through all the ripples of this life, this ecosystem that we live in, Earth. So thanks for letting me say all this, and I hope that one part or parts of it were useful. Definitely go check out some of those documentaries I mentioned. And as always, remember, choose gratitude and create freedom. We'll see you on the next episode.